Good morning, dear friends. In last lecture, we completed about diuretics and antidiuretic hormone. Now, from today, we start with the next section under pharmacology and toxicology, that is chemotherapy. This is the next section. Up till now, we completed general pharmacology, then drugs acting on central nervous system, drugs acting on autonomic nervous system, then drugs acting on cardiovascular system, and also we completed diuretic, that is on kidney. Now this is also very important chapter, that is chemotherapy. Under chemotherapy, near about 10 to 12 chapters are going to be included. Now today we start first with the introduction of chemotherapy. You know that chemotherapy, that is nothing but there are certain drugs or maybe chemicals or any substances used to prevent the growth of pathogenic microorganisms or inhibiting or affecting directly or produces killing of bacteria or killing of microorganisms without affecting to host tissues. Already we completed this definition under first chapter, that is introduction to pharmacology, that there are certain drugs or any chemical or any substances used in treatment of infectious diseases. Infectious diseases, that is nothing but the diseases which is caused by pathogenic microorganisms. Infectious diseases, that is nothing but the diseases which is caused by pathogenic microorganisms. Pathogenic microorganism may be bacteria, may be fungi, actinomycetes, may be of any group of microorganisms. If comes in contact with human body, produces what? Produces infectious diseases. And the drug, any chemical, any substances which is used in treatment of infectious diseases so as to kill or destroy these pathogenic microorganisms, or some chemotherapeutic agents inhibiting growth of pathogenic microorganisms without affecting to host tissue, की पेशंटच्या टिश्यूला डॅमेज न करता हे जे मायक्रोऑर्गॅनिझम्स असतील, पॅथोजेनिक मायक्रोऑर्गॅनिझम, मे बी बॅक्टेरिया, मे बी ॲक्टिनोमायसिस, मे बी फंगाई, मे बी व्हायरस, एनी टाइप ऑफ pathogenic microorganisms, it produces either killing or destruction of pathogenic microorganism. Some antibiotics, some chemotherapeutic agent causes directly killing or destruction of pathogenic microorganism, while some chemotherapeutic agent affecting growth or multiplication of microorganism without affecting to host tissue. That agent, that is to be called as chemotherapeutic agent, and the phenomenon that is called as chemotherapy. For example, streptomycin. This streptomycin that is used in treatment of tuberculosis. It is the drug of choice in TB. Another example, that is penicillin. All types of antibiotics available in market: penicillin, tetracycline, chloramphenicol, cephalosporin. These are all the example of chemotherapeutic agent. That these are the antibiotic, that these substances used in treatment of infectious diseases. आपल्याला साधा सर्दी खोकला जरी झाला तरी आपण काय घेतो? अँटीबायोटिक घेतो. That is the diseases which is caused by microorganism, maybe bacteria, maybe fungi, maybe viruses, maybe actinomyces. So that used to kill or destroy this pathogenic microorganism, or some drug inhibiting growth or multiplication of microorganism without affecting to host tissues. That agent that is to be called as chemotherapeutic agent, and the phenomenon that is called as chemotherapy. So example are streptomycin, penicillin, tetracycline, chloramphenicol. Now these chemotherapeutic agents, that is maybe of a, some are bacteriostatic in nature while some are bactericidal in nature. Bacteriostatic or bactericidal. Now bacteriostatic means what? These are the agent, these are the chemotherapeutic agent used to affecting the growth of pathogenic microorganisms. Bacteriostatic are those agents that not necessary to kill them. These agents affecting growth or affecting multiplication of microorganism without killing of microorganism, and therefore that agent that is called as bacteriostatic agent. Example of bacteriostatic agent, that is streptomycin, erythromycin, tetracycline, chloramphenicol. These agents that is used as a bacteriostatic agent. When these agents given to the patient, affecting the growth or multiplication of microorganisms and thereby called as bacteriostatic agent, that not necessary to kill them. Example of bacteriostatic agent, that is streptomycin, erythromycin, tetracycline, chloramphenicol. Sometimes they will ask for 2 marks. Define bacteriostatic agent and give example. Isn't it? While bactericidal are those agents that directly produces killing or destruction of pathogenic microorganisms. That these agents directly causes killing or destruction of pathogenic microorganisms without affecting to host tissue. Example, that is 4-trimetazole combination. This is sulfonamide combination, that is 4-trimetazole. Then penicillin, cephalosporin, these group of antibiotic that is used as bactericidal agent. That these agent will given directly process killing or destruction of pathogenic microorganism. Hence, these agents are called as bactericidal agent. Example are 4-trimetazole combination, penicillin, cephalosporin. So sometimes they may define bactericidal agent. You should know the example. Bacteriostatic agent, you should know the example, definition and example. Or they may define chemotherapy, give example. So example of chemotherapy agent, that is streptomycin, penicillin, tetracycline, chloramphenicol. Isn't it? So these are the definition, that is chemotherapy, bacteriostatic and bactericidal agent. Now these chemotherapeutic agent again classified into different types according to the mechanism of action. So the next point, that is classification of chemotherapeutic agent. Whatever the chemotherapeutic agents are used, these agents classified according to mechanism of action. That is how these agents either produce bacteriostatic or bactericidal action. So according to mechanism of action, first type, that these agents, those agents affecting the cell membrane development, that those agents affecting or act by inhibiting cell membrane की जे मल्टीप्लिकेशन ऑफ माइक्रो ऑर्गेनिज्म म्हणजे सेल मेम्ब्रेन जे डेव्हलपमेंट होणार आहे त्याला काय करतात, क्लोज करतात. सो दीज आर द एजंट that agent inhibiting cell membrane development. Example are penicillin, cephalosporin. These group of antibiotic act by mechanism that inhibiting cell membrane multiplication or affecting growth or multiplication of microorganisms by inhibiting cell membrane of microorganisms. So example penicillin, cephalosporin. Some chemotherapeutic agents act by mechanism that inhibiting protein synthesis in bacteria. Some chemotherapeutic agents act by inhibiting protein synthesis in bacteria. Example are tetracycline and chloramphenicol. Tetracycline and chloramphenicol drug act by inhibiting protein synthesis in bacteria. While some agents act by inhibiting metabolism process in microorganisms. Some chemotherapeutic agents act by inhibiting metabolism process like sulfonamide and 4-trimetazole. These agents act by inhibiting metabolism process. Next, some chemotherapeutic agents act by interfering RNA and DNA synthesis. RNA and DNA synthesis in microorganism. Example isoniazid and rifampicin. These drugs act by inhibiting RNA and DNA synthesis. One more type, that some agent act by inhibiting permeability of cell membrane. Permeability of cell membrane. Example polymyxin B and amphotericin B. This polymyxin and amphotericin B, these drugs act by inhibiting permeability of cell membrane. So this is sometimes we are classify chemotherapeutic agent. So classify chemotherapeutic agent, this is according to what? According to mechanism of action, these are the 5 types. So first type, that some agent act by inhibiting cell membrane in microorganism. Example penicillin, cephalosporin. Some agents act by inhibiting protein synthesis in bacteria, that is tetracycline and chloramphenicol. Some agents act by inhibiting metabolism process in microorganisms like sulfonamide, 4-trimetazole. Some agents inhibiting RNA and DNA synthesis. Example isoniazid and rifampicin. These are the antitubercular drugs. Then some agents act by inhibiting permeability of cell membrane. Example polymyxin B and amphotericin B. So this is the classification of chemotherapeutic agent. Now the next point under introduction that is drug resistance. What do you mean by drug resistance? Sometimes they will ask what is drug resistance? Give the types or write a note on drug resistance. Drug resistance, that is nothing but non-sensitivity of microorganism. Non-sensitivity of microorganism to the drug. की कुठलाही अँटीबायोटिक, कुठलाही केमोथेरॅपिटिक एजंट जेव्हा आपण पेशंटला देतोय, इनिशियली शोज रिस्पॉन्सेस अँड लेटर ऑन इट डज नॉट शो रिस्पॉन्सेस, दैट इज नॉन सेंसिटिविटी ऑफ माइक्रोऑर्गेनिज्म. कि जे बॅक्टेरियल माइक्रोऑर्गेनिज्म असेल, मे बी बॅक्टेरिया, मे बी फंगाई, मे बी एक्टिनोमायसिट्स, मे बी व्हायरसेस, इफ these microorganisms, pathogenic microorganisms, does not show response to chemotherapeutic agent, then the phenomenon that is to be called as drug resistance. So what is drug resistance? It is nothing but non-sensitivity of microorganism. कि microorganism drug ला जेव्हा response दाखवणार नाही, that phenomenon that is to be called as drug resistance. There are two types of drug resistance. One that is to be called as the natural drug resistance, and second one that is to be called as acquired drug resistance. There are two types. One that is natural drug resistance, and second one is acquired drug resistance. Natural drug resistance, that is nothing but it occurs due to absence of target site or absence of receptor in some patient. काही patients मध्ये because of God gifted property, because of the natural property, there is absence of certain enzymes responsible for metabolism of that particular drug, or naturally there is absence of that receptor combination that may lead to process non-sensitivity of microorganism. For example, you already know that primacrine drug, this primacrine drug should not be given to Negroes people. आपण मागच्या एक लेक्चर मध्ये बघितलं की that primacrine should not be given to Negroes people. This is because for metabolism of primacrine, the enzyme required, that is glucose 6-phosphate dehydrogenase enzyme. This particular enzyme deficient in Negroes people, and if primacrine given may lead to process hemolytic anemia condition, and therefore this primacrine should not be given to Negroes people. This type of resistance, this is natural. This is due to that in Negroes people naturally, because of God gifted property, there is absence of enzyme. This particular enzyme responsible for metabolism of that particular drug, and therefore does not show responses. One more example for natural drug resistance, that tuberculin bacteria. This tuberculin bacteria does not show responses to tetracycline and chloramphenicol. This tetracycline and chloramphenicol drug are not effective in against tubercular bacilli because of absence of that receptor. While streptomycin, isoniazid, rifampicin, ethambutol, these are the drug of choice in treatment of tuberculosis. But tetracycline and chloramphenicol are not effective, even though these are the broad spectrum. This type of resistance, this is to be natural drug resistance. That is occurs due to absence of receptor or due to the absence of that particular enzyme required for metabolism of that particular drug. And second type, that is acquired drug resistance. Acquired drug resistance, that is occurs during the course of treatment. जेव्हा आपण एखादे ट्रीटमेंट पेशंटला देतो, फॉर एक्झाम्पल इन ट्रीटमेंट ऑफ ट्युबरक्युलोसिस, एखाद्या पेशंटला टीबी झाला, इन ट्युबरक्युलोसिस ट्रीटमेंट गिवन हियर अबाउट मिनिमम फॉर 1 year, कमीत कमी 1 वर्ष पेशंटला ट्रीटमेंट दिली जाते in order to destroy the Mycobacterium tuberculosis bacteria. Now here, suppose you know that streptomycin, this is the drug of choice. It was the first drug that shows effectiveness against Mycobacterium tuberculosis bacteria. And if streptomycin alone given in treatment of tuberculosis, after 2 to 3 month treatment, the streptomycin drug does not show response to Mycobacterium tuberculosis bacteria. Means initially bacteria shows responses to the drug, but later on when the treatment is going to be continued, during course of treatment that drug becomes ineffective to show, does not show responses to microorganism. That is, during course of treatment, if the resistance is going to be developed, then it is called as acquired drug resistance, that is developed during course of treatment. And therefore nowadays in treatment of tuberculosis, combination or multiple anti-tubercular drug combination should be given to the patient, like streptomycin, isoniazid, ethambutol. These drug combination given in order to avoid occurrence of acquired drug resistance. You know that is streptomycin given after 2 to 3 months, bacteria may develop resistance, that is acquired drug resistance, and thereby does not show responses. If to avoid this type of drug resistance, multiple drug therapy combinations given to the patient in order to minimize this drug resistance. So that type of resistance, that is called as acquired resistance. Means what? Natural drug resistance occurs because of absence of target site or absence of receptor naturally because of bond-neutral property in people. While acquired drug resistance occurs during the course of the treatment. So sometimes when you ask, write a note on drug resistance, you should know what is drug resistance. That is nothing but the non-sensitivity of microorganism to the drug. When microorganism does not show responses to the any drug, any chemicals, any substances, then the phenomenon that is called as drug resistance. So there are two types, natural and acquired. So sometimes when you ask, write a note on drug resistance. So this is the first chapter under, that is introduction to chemotherapy. You should know the definition of chemotherapy. Definition, example, then what is bacteriostatic, bactericidal, definition, example, classification of chemotherapy agent according to mechanism of action, and next point, that is short note on drug resistance. So this is the first part under chemotherapy, that is introduction to chemotherapy. Now let us start with the first chapter. Near about 10 to 12 chapters are going to be included under chemotherapy. This is very important as far as your sessional and annual exam is going to be concerned. So let us start with the first chapter under chemotherapy, that is sulfonamides. So this is important chapter, that is sulfonamides. Now you know that sulfur drug to be now I class is sulfur drug. That is sulfonamides. Sulfonamides, what are sulfonamides? Sulfonamides, these are the antibacterial compounds. Antibacterial are those drugs used in treatment of bacterial infection. Maybe gram-positive bacteria or maybe gram-negative bacteria. So that agent, that is antibacterial. So sulfonamides are antibacterial compounds. Chemically, it containing SO2 NH2 group. That is sulfonamido group. That agent, that is to be called as sulfonamides. So sometimes if you ask, define sulfonamides or what are sulfonamides, classify with example. So sulfonamides are the antibacterial compound. Antibacterial, that those agents used in bacterial infection. So that is called as antibacterial agent. Maybe gram-positive or gram-negative bacteria, maybe streptococci, staphylococci, gonococci, pneumococci, any bacterial group. So these agents are effective in variety of group of microorganisms. That is, these are the antibacterial compound, and chemically it contains SO2 NH2 group. That is sulfonamido group. Same basic structure also present in non-antibacterial compound, that is tolbutamide. Tolbutamide, this is oral hypoglycemic agent. This is the exceptional case that tolbutamide drug structure also contains same group, but it is non-antibacterial, while remaining all compounds, maybe sulfadiazine, maybe sulfanilamide, maybe sulfamethoxazole, maybe sulfadimethoxazole, any drug that containing sulfonamido group and shows antibacterial activity are called as sulfonamide. Only the exceptional case, that is tolbutamide. This tolbutamide also contains same structure, SO2 NH2 group, but there is a shows non-antibacterial activity. That is only the exceptional case. So that drug molecule, that is called as sulfonamide. So what are sulfonamides? That these are the drugs used as antibacterial compound. Chemically containing sulfonamido group, that is SO2 NH2 group, and the basic structure of sulfonamide, that there is a benzene ring, there is a SO2 NH2 group, that is sulfonamido group in first position, and there is a para-amino group. This structure shows antibacterial activity. Because of presence of sulfonamido group in compound, it shows antibacterial activity against most of the microorganisms, and therefore called as sulfonamide compound. Only the exceptional case, that is tolbutamide. Tolbutamide also contains same basic structure, but it is used as non-antibacterial compound. It is used as oral hypoglycemic agent. That is only the exceptional case. While remaining all drugs containing the same basic nucleus, same ring, that is used as antibacterial compound are called as sulfonamides. Now these sulfonamides broadly classified into three types. There are three types of sulfonamide. First type, that those agents used in treatment of systemic infections. Sulfonamide that is used in treatment of systemic infection. Second type, those sulfonamides effective in local GIT infection, in gastrointestinal tract infection. And third type, that is to be called as the topically applied sulfonamide. Topically applied or externally applied sulfonamide in the form of eye drops or in the form of ointment bases. So there are three types of sulfonamides classified into three types: those used in systemic infection, those used in local GIT infection, and third one, topically applied sulfonamides. These are the three types, major three types. Now here first type, that is those used in systemic infection, again classified into different types according to duration of action. These sulfonamides again classified into different types according to duration of action. According to duration, now the duration of action of the drug, you know that duration of action of drug that depends on affinity to bound with plasma protein binding. If that drug ची affinity किती आहे to bound with plasma protein binding, according to that there is a duration of action take place. So according to duration of action again divided into three types. One, that is short acting sulfonamides, second type intermediate acting sulfonamides, and third type that is called as long acting sulfonamides. So first type, that those sulfonamides used in systemic infection classified according to what? According to duration of action. And you know that duration of action of drug that depends on affinity to bound with plasma protein. Those drugs having more affinity to bound with plasma protein shows long action. Those having less affinity to bound with plasma protein shows short action. So according to duration of action, there are three types: short acting sulfonamide, intermediate acting sulfonamide, and long acting sulfonamide. Short acting sulfonamide are those compounds having duration of action 7 to 14 hours. Intermediate acting sulfonamide are those compounds having duration of action 1 to 2 days. While long acting sulfonamides are those drugs having the duration of action up to 7 days. So this duration of action of the drug that depends on affinity to bound with plasma protein. So let us see first short acting sulfonamide having duration of action 7 to or 8 to 14 hours. Example: sulfanilamide, sulfadiazine. These drugs, that is short acting sulfonamide. Then intermediate acting sulfonamide having duration of action 1 to 2 days. Example: sulfamethoxazole and sulfafenazole. Third type, long acting sulfonamide having action duration of action up to 7 days. Example: sulfadimethoxazole. So this is the first type, that is those used in systemic infection. Second type, that is local GIT infection. Those drugs used in treatment of local gastrointestinal tract infection. Example of GIT infection, that is succinil sulfathiazole and phthalate sulfathiazole. One more example, sulfaguanidine. This sulfaguanidine that is also used in local GIT infection. So those drugs used in local GIT infection, example are succinil sulfathiazole, phthalate sulfathiazole, and sulfaguanidine. Then third type, that is topically or externally applied sulfonamide, locally used sulfonamide. Example: sulfacetamide, which is used in the form of eye drops. Even in today's practice of medicine, sulfacetamide eye drops are going to be available in eye infections. One more another example, that is silver sulfadiazine. This silver sulfadiazine that is used in burn cases, belonging to topically applied sulfonamide. Silver sulfadiazine used in the form of cream or ointment bases in burn cases. So 1% sulfacetamide eye drop available in market, used in eye infection, that is particularly in trachoma and conjunctivitis, that is in eye infection. Sulfacetamide eye drops are going to be used. While silver sulfadiazine that is used in the ointment bases or cream bases in burn cases, isn't it? So this is the full classification of sulfonamides. So full question will be asked that define sulfonamides or what are sulfonamides, classified with example. So you supposed to be mention at least 2 examples from each type. So you understand that sulfonamides, these are the antibacterial compound, chemically containing sulfonamido group, that is SO2 NH2 group. Those drug molecule and the basic structure of sulfonamide, that is benzene ring, SO2 NH2 group and amino group. Only the exceptional case, that is tolbutamide, which is used as oral hypoglycemia. Remaining all these drugs contain the basic structure, that is this ring is going to present, only the difference is that it is side chain. फक्त difference कुठे राहणार आहे side chain मध्ये. That drug molecule that is called as sulfonamides. This is important question that define sulfonamide or what are sulfonamide. Classify the example. So classification, there are majorly 3 types: those using systemic infection, those using local GI infection, and third one is topically or externally applied sulfonamides. So under systemic infection, again classified according to duration of action. You understand that duration of action of the drug that depends on affinity to bound with plasma protein. Those drugs having more affinity to bound with plasma protein shows long duration of action. So according to duration of action, there are 3 types: short acting, intermediate acting, long acting. Short acting 8 to 14 hours. Example: sulfanilamide, sulfadiazine. Then intermediate acting, having action duration of action 1 to 2 days: sulfamethoxazole, sulfadiazine. Then long acting sulfonamide are having action up to 7 days. So sulfadimethoxazole. Local GI infection, example, that is succinil sulfathiazole, heavy sulfathiazole, sulfaconidine. Topically applied sulfonamides, example sulfacetamide and silver sulfadiazole. So this is the full classification of sulfonamides. Now the next point under this chapter, that is antibacterial activity of sulfonamide, where these drugs are going to be effective. You understand that all these sulfonamides, even though they may be of a topically applied or may be of a those used in local GI infection or systemic infection, all these drugs are used as antibacterial compound. These drugs, that is all sulfonamide drugs, are effective against gram-positive and gram-negative bacterial infections. These drugs are effective against gram-positive and gram-negative bacterial infection. Maybe gram-positive bacteria like streptococci, staphylococci, gonococci, pneumococci. Also effective against Escherichia coli, that is E. coli, under UTI infection. This E. coli that is causing urinary tract infection, UTI infection. In addition to this, these sulfonamides also effective against H. influenza, that is Haemophilus influenza. But sulfonamides are not effective in treatment of tuberculosis. Already just now we completed that in tuberculosis treatment, streptomycin, isoniazid, rifampicin, ethambutol, these are the drugs. But even though sulfonamides are effective against variety of group of microorganisms, but does not show responses against tubercular bacilli, isn't it? Because of absence of receptor. So remember that these drugs, antibacterial activity of sulfonamide, that all sulfonamides are effective against variety of gram-positive and gram-negative bacterial infection. That is streptococci, staphylococci, gonococci, pneumococci infections, E. coli infection, that is Escherichia coli infection, which causes UTI, that is urinary tract infection. Also effective against H. influenza, that is Haemophilus influenza. Against group of variety of microbial infection, these sulfonamides are effective, but does not show responses against tuberculosis, isn't it? So this is what, this is antibacterial activity. So this is definition, classification and antibacterial activity. Now the next point under this chapter, that is mechanism of action of sulfonamide. How these sulfonamides are effective as antibacterial compound. You understand that these drugs are antibacterial compound. So the next point in this chapter, that is mechanism of action of sulfonamide.